Okay then, Helldivers, we are back. We've got loads to go over today as the Galactic War table has been absolute chaos this weekend. With Oceune being the main target, we've got 24 hours remaining on the major order to be able to clear that one up. On top of that, it appears that the senior engine programmer has now been hired for Arrowhead, so we're going to take a look into that. The known issues list has been updated, and Helldivers has now finished. So we're going to go over everything that you guys need to know with regards to Helldivers 2. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful like button and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. Make sure you check out our incredible sponsor, GamerSupps, the company that offer esports athletes and gamers alike with the most effective and healthy energy drink option. And we're releasing so much stuff every single day. Links in the description. Use code CLOUDPLAYS at checkout for a cheeky discount. And also on top of that, if you want to get involved with our giveaway, we're giving away super credits on the video. If you want to get involved with that, it's very simple. Head down into the comment section and just put in a fire emoji. It'll enter you in. We'll announce that one in just a few days' time. With that being said, let's dive into the game and see what's happening right now inside of Helldivers 2. So over the last 24 hours, it's been an absolute carnage fest over on the Galactic War table, starting off with the Hive Lords on Oceune. There was a big cold direct amount of Hive Lords. As a result, the Terminid resistance had returned down, basically saying that we completed the minor order and the resistance on Oceune has managed to go back down to 5%. Still a very high resistance, but nonetheless, that is now sorted. After that, we had a massive chaotic moment with the DSS, where it seemed like the polymer coating was actually being damaged big time, and to be able to prevent it, we had to send the DSS over to Kalia. Unfortunately, nobody actually done that straight off the bat, but the DSS was eventually withdrawn over to Kalia to make sure that we, didn't suffer from catastrophic failure. So that was eventually sorted, and the DSS was cleansed. After that, we then sent the DSS back over to Oceune, where the planet is now almost liberated. There has been a significant higher amount of impalers numbered on the planet itself, though. So yes, over there right now is the Rupture Strain and the Hive Lords. It's absolutely chaotic because the Rupture Strain has been quite an enjoyable venture just recently, and for me personally, I much prefer Rupture Strain over the Predator Strain, so I'm glad that that change has been made as we move into the final 20% of liberation on this planet. And as we can see on the Galactic War table right now, with 1 day remaining, it seems like a lot of you Helldivers are diving over on Oceune, with it being pretty much 75% of the entire community playing the game at the moment. You are definitely going in to try and get that one liberated. Fingers crossed, though, it actually happens, because my lord, I'm getting so tired of being over on Hellmire that hopefully we can liberate Oceune and make our way forward to see what it is that's in the deeper side of the gloom. Let me know what you guys are thinking via the comment section with that one, but it seems like we may actually be able to do this. Now, in other news, it seems that the developers themselves have been absolute mute over the weekend, yet again, which generally means that they're working on something relatively large, and it seems that they have been hiring in the background. What you can see on screen right now is what the job advertisements looked like just a week or so ago. And if we take a look at it now, we can see that, yes, the senior engine programmer has now been filled. That is a job role which was highly wanted for the Helldivers team, as we obviously know that the engine is definitely going to need some changes and some upgrades to make sure that it can sustain everything that Helldivers wants to do in the future. As of right now, the player base is tanking and everyone is dropping out of the game because of the way that the actual game operates in performance and so much more. So fingers crossed this senior engine programmer can genuinely bring something good to the table, because we get some really weird things that are just now starting to show up. I'm not too sure how it is that bugs aren't showing up until like later on after the patch. It's so damn weird, but apparently people aren't able to materialize them straight away, and then they just happen so frequently. The Helldivers known issues list was updated to the point where we can see right here a new piece is up for info. Parts of the armor are visible in the ADS mode while using the Plas 39 accelerator rifle. And after a little rummaging on Reddit, we actually managed to find out exactly what they're talking about. It's only done a small amount of testing from it, because realistically, who uses the accelerator rifle? But people have now started to find out that these things are becoming a bit of a problem. Hopefully this doesn't go across the wide span of weaponry that you guys can obviously utilize, and fingers crossed it's something that is fixed quite quickly, because I don't know about you, but I can't play the game like that. That is absolutely absurd. It's like over half of the screen. It's so damn weird. Nonetheless, so on top of that, we've also now got the closing of Helldivers, which I am so damn glad for. The entirety of October was obviously for the fan art that you guys have been designing. The Baskonator has been leaning into that heavily to the point where I'm pretty sure that's pretty much all she's been focusing on. We've seen really no comments coming from her as of late that isn't really about the Helldivers, but it is now finished and there is no more movement for that. So fingers crossed we can get our community manager back and we can start to actually see some stuff progress in terms of communication, because as of right now, everything's gone down to a minimum yet again. And we can obviously see that nobody has really spoken inside of the Discord in terms of Shams or even Jojo. We've not heard of Jojo in such a long time, and obviously they are busy, but it would be nice to get some sort of comms as to what's going on a bit more on the regular. It seems like now that they're giving us these big communications listings, such as the videos and so much more, that the day-to-day comms has now just dwindled off into nothing. But I'm really intrigued to know what you guys are thinking. Right now, my head has been all over the shop. We've been covering Helldivers, but we're also diving into Arc Raiders, and I've been absolutely loving that game at the moment. We have been blowing it into the water, and I cannot wait to get back in later today after I've got this video done. We've also got an Arc Raiders video dropping later today, so make sure you stay tuned for that one. But nonetheless, we've got to take a look at your top comments from our previous video over on Saturday, as they have made some really interesting decisions, and now that the Rupture Strain are back, people are actually relatively enjoying them. We also spoke about the big lie with regards to the Coyote, and the way that Nicolas actually posted it up there inside of a live stream is probably exactly why they didn't do these things beforehand, because unless it was planned, it just seems a little bit odd to me that they are doing things like that. Nonetheless, let's take a look at your top comments and see what it is you guys had to say. This first one right here coming from Archangel states, players spends a week fighting the squid monotonously to get gloom polymer. Arrowhead, yeah, it's not gonna last very long, shrug. Which is an absolute nightmare to me, to say the least. We literally got it and we've dove it straight in the first real opportunity inside of the MO to be able to get it over to Oshaune, and it literally lasts 5 minutes before we have to drag it back out and send it to Kalia to just recalibrate to put it back in. Almost like you're liberating too fast, slow this down. It's really, really frustrating, but again, fingers crossed we can get some more upgrades for it, and it will hopefully bring that back to the table soon. Next up, this one states right here, it's not about the nerf, it's about the transparency and trust. Welcome back, Cloud. Edit. Because some people misinterpreted, for me, it's not about the nerf. The Coyote and the game are still awesome. Now, what I will say is I kind of somewhat agree with this. For me, it's more about the transparency and the trust. They did a whole video essentially mocking us with regards to the Coyote to then release the information that they actually did touch the Coyote anyway. For me, it wasn't about what they changed on it, because I didn't really notice massive amounts of difference. It still obviously sets things on fire. It's now just not a one-shot burster. You can't shoot one bullet and set something on fire, but then I just spray and pray anyway, so I was never going to notice it. But it's more about the transparency of actually being honest with us as a community and telling us exactly what you've done, not worrying about the repercussions of hitting a nerf, because realistically, this community, they're going to find out anyway. And next up, this one stays right here from Matt Wordsworth. Arrowhead are the epitome of 1 step forward and 10 steps back. And unfortunately, that does seem to be the case, which is why other games right now seem to be thriving. Again, we're going to point to Arc Raiders, because my lord, that game is thriving beyond belief. But yes, this is unfortunately the case, and Arrowhead have got that a bit of a ego complex thing where they just kind of feel like they can avoid all situations if they just don't address it. It's really, really odd. I'm not too sure why, but they've got a bit of a god complex going on at the moment where they know they've got a good game on their hands, so they feel like they can just do what they want. It's really, really odd, but unfortunately that's the gaming industry as an overall. Let's see what it is that happens over the next few days, and fingers crossed Helldivers actually makes somewhat of a return. We'll be surprised at this point, but we'll see exactly how it plays out. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe, post notifications turned on, and make sure you stay tuned to our live streams. We're going to be live throughout the day with Arc Raiders and enjoying the life out of it. So I'll see you guys over there. Thanks again for watching. Like, subscribe, and as always, I'll see you in the clouds.